So for you Scorpios, you have the Three of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Page of Pentacles. A lot of you Scorpios are learning how to do better for yourselves in the sense of, right now you're single, but as of right now, you Scorpios are very much so ready to mingle, ready to get to know new people. You Scorpios very much so feel, and you're going to find out why, but you Scorpios very much so feel free from feeling the pressure, the social pressure, right? That if you don't find anybody, that if you have trouble, getting into a relationship with somebody, then there's something severely wrong with you all the time. And the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles represents, like I said, you feel free to be yourself, because now you Scorpios know, not everything is your fault all the time. Not everything is, not everything is your fault all the time. Not everything is about, you Scorpios needing to be the villain all the time. And, if you can't get yourself into a relationship all the time, then it's automatically on you. Are there some things that you Scorpios can change depending on the situation? More than likely, yeah, of course. But at the same time, 100% of it is not all on you, right? You got to take responsibility for when it rains. You know what I mean? So the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles is about how, so you know that you can come back from this. You Scorpios know that, you now know something even more about yourselves, that you do have options. That's number one. And that you know how to get some people that you want, right? And that some people will play like they're ready for something serious. You found out a lot. Some people will play like they're ready for something for real, but they're not really built for this. I mean, we're talking about love here. And love scares people. Big time. You got people trying to deflect their whole life. Up until they in their 50s and 60s. Now they sitting up there crying, talking about they want a relationship. How you wait until you get that old, right? And when I say old, I'm not necessarily talking about the age. I'm talking about that amount of time passed by before you decide, okay, you're going to let this weight off of your shoulders and stop trying to front. You in your 50s and 60s. It's not cute. But a lot of you Scorpios understand that that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's just how some people are going to be. But again, that's not something that you Scorpios should be taking on like that. But the thing about it is that the Eight of Pentacles represents the best thing for you to do is to leave those types of people alone. And like I said, keep your options open. Be by yourself or get to know other people. And that, right, the Judgment, those people who play like they playing you and rejected you, we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into another layer of it. I want to say 8 to 9 times out of 10, when you see people reject you, Scorpio, and this goes for anybody that's a cross-watcher watching this, but I'm just sharing some game with you, Scorpios. 8 to 9 times, right? 8 to 9 times out of 10, when you see somebody who rejects you, they really interested in you. But the problem is that more oftentimes than not, these will be people who are very dysfunctional. And how I know this is because most people will reject you for really stupid reasons. Dysfunctional, dummy reasons. And what I mean by that is, you got people now in the dating pool who will reject you for not wearing a right shoes and not wearing the right, quote unquote, right, whatever right is, not wearing the certain sneakers, not wearing, certain laces, not looking a certain particular way, not being covered or dripped in diamonds. It's like, how many people you know walking around on this earth with just a full on iced out diamond chain, just out and about in the open, just out like that? But it goes to show you how delusional, how stupid the mindset is. So the judgment represents 9 times out of 10, those people are very much so interested in you. But the problem is, like I said before, the problem is the dysfunction that comes with it. The I can't, because most people, Scorpio, are not built for this stuff. Most people are chicken squats, but they try to act like they not. So get yourself into a functional relationship then, and stop trying to fight against it. Let's see then, you know? So the strength card now is about how, but you Scorpios are not afraid of relationships. And y'all know that y'all are not. That's one of the things that y'all learned. A lot of you Scorpios have been doing the shadow work, and a lot of you learn, you know, Queen of Cups. You can offer something valuable to other people. You can give your love. You can show it. You can tell somebody that you love them. You don't have to, you know, be on some sadomasochistic stuff where you have to, you know, like a Scorpio, where a Scorpio's mind and their heart is not in the correct place. They have to be hard on the person because that's their way of showing that they're interested in the person. Because to a Scorpio, right, a lower level Scorpio perceives that love and showing love and telling somebody that you love them is somehow dysfunctional, somehow weak or whatever. No, you Scorpios understand that that's weak. You can show somebody that you care about them. You can bring other things as far as tangible to the table. So you can bring intangibles, right? Love and consideration, but you could also bring tangibles to the table too. Money, of course, resources, right? But again, the high priestess, the question is, what quality of person are those people going to be when they show up? Are they going to be for sale? Or are they going to be willing to actually be in something special with you, Scorpios? That's the question. That's the question, right? That's the $64 million question. You know, and that's why it is that you don't go too hard when it comes to getting to know somebody at first. Like it is that I said before, we're gonna get into it. That's the reason why I'm gonna give you some more game. That's the reason why it is that you gotta start off boring, because a lot of times people will get themselves caught up in a situation where, you know, as soon as they come into a relationship, as soon as they try to get to know somebody, the person has to crash into or crash out into being exciting right off the rip. Why? Because if everything is exciting immediately right off the rip, like it is, I said before, you're going to get used to that. A person is going to get used to that. So what happens when they get used to it now, right? You can get something where it has that new smell, right? Fresh off the lot, new car smell. But after a while, that new car smell doesn't smell like a new car. It smells like you. So what do? You change it up, you spice things up, right? You put a different fragrance in a car so that, you know, it gets your creative juices flowing again. Same thing when it comes to relationships, Scorpio, right? And I'm giving y'all real game. It's the same thing when it comes to relationships, because that's what separates long-term relationships from short-term ones. You Scorpios got to understand that part of the problem why a lot of people can't choose up on you or they're having a problem is because you Scorpios can be okay and be satisfied and be great with a person, even if they're not necessarily new. And you got over the infatuation stage and you keep them around because you like them. That's why it is that you keeping them around. You like all that type of stuff. But they're still gonna go from new to someone that you are used to, right? So what do? a person has to figure out a way to be in love with that and go back into love and find a new creative way to go back into love. But a lot of the times what happened with you is, this is why Virgo, Pisces, Scorpio, and Gemini, but it begins with Virgo and Pisces. It's the zodiac signs of sadomasochism, because it's the energy of, and I'm giving y'all a lot of game. I'm not just talking. I'm giving, if y'all listen, I'm giving y'all a lot of game, because what happens when a person gets from new to when you're used to it again, or when you're used to them. And what happened is that most people think that when you get used to the person, now all of a sudden the butterflies ain't there, the relationship is going bad. Let's clarify the Queen of Cups. The Empress, Queen of Swords, Two of Pentacles, then you have the Knight of Wands. So yeah, so these 4 cards right here. So you Scorpios, essentially, you bring so much to the table. The thing that you Scorpios have to watch out for is to make sure that what the tangibles and the intangibles that you Scorpios bring to the table don't get mistreated and taken for granted. The Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. If you see with these signs that a person is taking your intangibles and tangibles for granted, then it's time for you to take those intangibles and tangibles off the table and leave them alone. Do not allow yourselves to be disrespected like that, because you Scorpios deserve way more respect. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Peace.